Alrighty, folks, welcome to another episode of the March for Live Wrestling Podcast. My name is Jeff Bailey.
I'm Jerry Jones. What is up?
My gosh, wrestling is going wild. We're building to WrestleMania. AEW is just tearing it apart. And man, what a time to be a wrestling fan, dude.
Yeah, I didn't see much on Monday, but man, all I could think about was,
I'm kind of making fun of the fact that there's really no build to WrestleMania. And there's some interest.
Yeah.
I mean, there is interest in Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
I mean
that was a funny bit. That was a funny bit. I will give.
I mean, I will
give him credit on that was funny.
They got one over on the fans so bad. I mean, that was the second they did it. They played the music twice.
Yeah, that was it was
and
funny.
It was like they were definitely thinking Stone Cold was going to come out and kick his ass.
Yeah,
or something. And they're just left nothing, no payoff.
I mean, kind of like with
thanks for spending your dollars thinking you're going to get an awesome pre-WrestleMania Raw.
Mm-hmm.
But before we tear down the business,
mm-hmm.
let's hit a V trigger on that old subscribe button. Drop a top rope elbow on the like, and double axe handle smash that notification bell, and we'll tell you when we're doing some stuff. And hit us up on the old tweet ski down there.
What's the over under on when we will get Veer before we get Cody? Or will we get Cody before we get Veer?
Veer is scheduled to debut April 4, the Raw after Mania.
Wow, okay.
I tweeted it. He showed himself running up some steps. I was like, if you could only take that last step to Raw.
I mean, how long have they been teasing this?
6 months. So 8 months, I think.
Man.
5 months? I don't know. If I'm probably expanding. I think it's 5 months of Veer promo every Monday.
Yeah.
And he's just gonna slip on a banana peel on the way down to the ring. His first match, you know it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, something's gonna go wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, he's trying to build this guy to be an ultimate monster, and like I said, something stupid's gonna happen in his first match.
This
has been wasted.
Yeah, here's what I've learned with Raw. I watched the beginning, and then I watched the very end. And because Seth Rollins and AJ Styles gave a great match.
That is the difference between the brands, my man. Because the meat in the middle on AEW is always awesome. There's always so much going on. And yes, there were misses on last night's Dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, big time. The Thunder Rosa, Vicky Guerrero thing.
Oh,
huge miss.
Yeah.
Lambert, huge miss.
Oh,
I mean,
God,
let's get into the start. Start of Dynamite. We open CM Punk, and this crowd is on fire.
Man.
A great crowd makes a wrestling match.
Yeah. We are a part of the story, folks. And they were on it. Austin.
That's it.
Way to go, Austin.
Anytime any of you out there, if you're out there at a wrestling show, you need to be vocal. Laugh, yell, think about what's on top of your mind and say it. Cheer, scream, be a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Be that crowd, because that was awesome. And they added that extra character big time.
Yeah. Austin, Texas. Who knew? Who knew that Austin, Texas had wrestling fans?
Texas, I think there's always some good Texas.
Oh, no. I'm not talking about Texas. I'm talking about Austin, Texas. I did not. I could have named probably 10 to 12 Texas cities that if you would have said, what best wrestling towns in the state of Texas, I'm not sure Austin would have cracked the top 10.
I agree.
And I was just like, Austin. Kudos, Austin. Take notes, Fort Myers. Take notes. Well, don't take notes, Fort Myers, because AEW is never coming back.
No one's coming back.
Ever.
It's over.
Ever. Now, they can get a house show from WWE because they're clearly, WWE fans. But last night, oh my gosh, that crowd was on fire. And you start out with CM Punk and Dax Harwood. Woo!
Lit.
I mean,
and man, what a match. I mean, that was 15 minutes of solid gold wrestling.
Do you know what that match was to me? That was the wrestling equivalent of John Cusack with the boom box and Say Anything. That was a love letter to Bret Hart. This match was
Bret.
Yes.
Bret, please. I love the pink lighting in the background after the FTR interview.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not screaming Bret Hart, come here, please. I don't know what it is. But the suplex off the top, it was just, I mean, Dax's suplexes are, just par excellence. This is good stuff.
This guy, I'm talking about Dax. This guy is a professional wrestler. This guy is the quintessential.
And here's the deal. Well, the fun part is they both make each other look like $1 million in this match.
Oh, 100%.
That's the magic of CM Punk too.
Yes.
So they both make each other look so good. They both sell each other's offense so well. It's like I said, this is just a masterclass.
Yeah.
This masterclass. Everybody in the back, I hope you're taking notes, because this is how you do it. There are a couple matches that were like that tonight, and there were a couple matches that were not quite like that, and then there were some oh my god things tonight.
Yeah, but it was beautiful. I love this match. It's like if you could put it in a time capsule, like, hey, like for 2022, give me, I'm not going to sit here and say it's a top 10 match or whatever, because we were only in March, but I would feel very comfortable putting this in a time capsule to say, what did wrestling in 2022 look like? I'm like,
look at this.
Here you go. Here's a match.
Here's a story. Look at this story.
Yeah.
This is an amazing one.
And I love the story, like you've had CM Punk, I love him more, and Dax responding, no, you don't. I'm like,
that was great.
I love.
Did you see Bailey tweeted, or I guess Bailey famously texted Dax Harwood, like, hey, I need some Bret matches. And he texted her back in 22 seconds with 6-7 matches.
Wow.
He's like, he texted you, like, you came to the right place, sister. And he immediately lists 7 matches to watch. Like, he's like, let me know when you're ready for more. And it's like, it's like so good. And I watched Bret Owen opening WrestleMania 10. I watched WrestleMania 10 the other day, and just God, there's some definite terrible stuff, but oh my God, Bret Owen to start, amazing. Then Sean Razor is just it's like there's nothing. If you think about it, compared to what we're seeing now, and guys doing 540 somersaults into tables off of 15-foot ladders and all these things, but for the time it was pretty violent, and at the time it was there was just so many good almost theirs, and it just made it the ladder match.
What were your thoughts on the fact that Cash never tried to interfere in this match?
Dude, I think I think the FTR is in a major slow face turn. And clearly MJF said they're still in the pinnacle. But Cash not helping. Dax stayed in the ring, and I could almost would have sworn if he'd have stayed in the ring a little bit longer, Punk might have turned to him for the handshake. Because that was a hell of a match. That was a hell of a contest.
Yeah, it really was.
And the sharpshooter into the Anaconda Vice was just spectacular. What a finish. And by the way, this is the anniversary of Austin Bret Hart, the submission match.
Oh.
So this is like the 25 year anniversary of that match, I think.
Wow. So that's some deep cut stuff. That's some deep cut stuff then.
Oh, these guys are so deep cut. This is what they are. At the core, they're paying homage. These spots are they love to pay homage to the past.
Yeah.
And, it's like the guys, from my understanding of wrestling, the guys that they don't like in the back are the guys that hate to lose. It's like, those are like the guys that don't like. It's the guys that like to lose and make the other guy look good. That's the people that everybody loves to work with.
Yeah.
And Dax, oh my God. And see, the thing is, Punk made him look like $1 million too.
Yeah. And the beautiful part about the story to me was that it was not about either one of the guys in the ring. They were it wasn't about Punk winning or because the way that I saw it, I'm like, man, is Dax gonna win this? I mean, even though I knew he wasn't, I'm like, oh my God, is he gonna win this thing?
Well, they're just telling a good story.
Yeah.
And this is like, guys at the top of their game just having an amazing wrestling match.
And to I know, I just feel like to appreciate the fact that we are getting CM Punk at the beginning of a wrestling show, like
kicking off a wrestling show.
Yeah, it's just like, dude, maybe other people don't realize, but to me, that's just such a big, there's no pomp, no circumstance. It's all right. We're here in Austin, blah, blah, blah. Let's get it going. And it's boom. And it's like all about the business. It was beautiful. Loved the match. I thought,
it's just like an A+. It's an A+ to start. I think this is like one of the best matches we've seen on TV this. One of the best matches we've seen on TV this year. I feel like we're saying this almost weekly.
Yeah,
right now. And don't get me wrong, there have been some good matches in the WWE.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it's hard not to I don't want to sound like we're bashing them all the time, because they do have some good matches. But oh my God, AEW is on some kind of roll.
Yeah.
And that was an A+. And then we go into the 8-man tornado match. And this thing was just insane from the start.
I love the fact that it was just kind of like, once it going in, but once they get it started, you're like, oh, this is just going to be a beautiful train wreck.
Magic. Well, when you're starting with the ageless icon taking flight.
Yes.
How's this one going to start? Oh yeah, Sting's going to do a top rope dive onto the floor on top of everybody.
Yeah.
To start this thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, God, don't do it.
And then Tony's like, no, don't do it. Don't do
Aubrey
it.
Edwards' tweet after the match is like, Sting, what the fuck?
Did you see there was somebody had tweeted a still picture of Isaiah up against the railing and Stinger's just in the air.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like,
great.
Oh, what a shot.
Out of the rafters.
And Isaiah,
it's timeless. I don't know how long we're gonna get this. This is the 9th match he's been a part of in AEW.
Isaiah tweeted
out, it's like we don't know how much more he's got.
Yeah.
But oh my God, I'm taking every drop of it and loving it.
Yeah, Isaiah.
The massive Sting Mark kid in me is out. All the Sting shirts on.
When Isaiah tweeted out, he's like, "Hey, I'm man enough to admit that I got my ass pounded by a 63-year-old man." And
one of the only missed spots in this match is going to be the finish. But
yeah,
let's get to the fact that we go. We're rumbling through the arena. And all of a sudden, the Butcher throws Darby Allin down
the stairs.
3 flights of stairs. I mean, this is the first time. I mean, Ethan Page literally threw him out of a stadium, threw him out of a building.
Yeah.
So he likes this sort of thing. For all those, crazy people who love hitting concrete stairs.
Yeah.
But this is vicious.
Yeah.
And they blast each other throughout the concourse, and eventually, with Jeff Hardy's help, to get the upper hand on Butcher and the Blade.
Yeah. Wow.
And all of a sudden, there just seems to be a giant ladder out of nowhere.
A ridiculously tall ladder. I'm like, where the hell did they find this ladder? Like, my God. I mean, anything taller, they would have needed a forklift.
And then I love that he just doesn't. He doesn't even just do the ladder. He gets up on higher onto that ledge, and he jumps off the ledge. I was like, that's kind of classic Hardy right there. But
watching Darby, watching Jeff Hardy, I half expected Darby to start jumping up and down like a wrestling fan, like because he was watching it. Because I'm like, whoa. I'm like, Jeff freaking Hardy, man. He is like, wow. That was insane, man. That was insane.
And the only, like I said, kind of miss is there was I love the spot with once Sting gets back to the ring to save Matt Hardy's being double teamed by Private Party most of this match.
Yeah.
In the ring. And Sting finally gets back in there to save him. And Isaiah comes up with the chair.
Yeah.
Sting's just like, oh no, not today, brother. But eventually, he goes up for that top rope spot, and Sting tries to catch him into the death drop, but he just falls. And at some point, either it's like, he keeps trying to he holds him like that for like almost a minute. It's like, Sting, you just got to either let him go, or just embrace it and just go for the Dragon Sleeper and just leg scissor him and go. That's kind of bad, but he's 63 or 62. I will let it go.
I mean, like you said, man, he's 63. He's the icon, man. I mean, he like can do no wrong in my book.
I love that, as much as we're getting, I'm taking every drop of it, and I'm loving it. So backstage we go to FTR with Tony Schiavone, and they just cut a the Gun Club was kind of taunting them the entire match, and then taunting them for losing, of course. And Cash, Dax, what a promo!
I loved, and it's a brilliant, like you said, it's a slow turn. Like, hey, we've done some things that you guys don't approve of, but you'll agree that the one thing that we can't stand is an entitled, wrestler.
Right.
And I'm like, well, what is that? In my mind, I'm like, well, what about your boy? Because is there any more entitled person than your boy, MJF?
The MJF, I mean, he is it. So we'll see. I mean, and again, pink backlighting, foreshadowing. Who knows?
I mean, look, they fired Tully. You've got all these things. You got the pink backlight. I mean, it feels like it's just a matter of time, right?
Only a matter of time.
Yeah.
So we go, and the Varsity Blondes are in the ring. The American Dragon comes out with Regal, and Regal comes and gives us commentary. I'm like, if we're going to get Regal on commentary,
oh my gosh,
cherish it with all my heart.
Interesting. Julia was just kind of sitting with her back turned.
Regal did when he after they pulverize the Varsity Blondes, and Mox, they just give them a work over. This was kind of a match for a little bit, but then, oh my lord, it just turned into them just beating the tar out of them. That was rough there at the end. But utter destruction. But then he did kind of he stops. He looked at Julia. He's like, and then he kind of just steps past her. He kind of gives her like a little, what's going on? And then he keeps going.
Yeah.
So what do you think of the club? What's he calling it?
The
Blackpool Combat
the
Club?
Blackpool Combat Club. And I'm like,
oh, I love it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, it's awesome. I'm the Blackpool Combat Club. Here's the thing. I think that there's some things that can be done. And I half expected it last night, but I think so I was texting you, and I was thinking back to the House of Black promo from last week or 2 weeks ago. And I initially thought, are they talking to CM Punk? And then I think a day or two later, I'm like, I think they're talking about Jon Moxley.
Oh, you think so?
I think so. I think Julia is the perfect doorway here.
Yeah. That's some good stuff. That's deep cut, my friend.
I would not be surprised if
battling for her soul
and the House of Black versus the Blackpool Combat Club.
It's good stuff.
I think we're gonna see some. I think we're gonna see some interesting things over the next few weeks.
We did not review Rampage. That match with that match with the House of Black was awesome.
Oh yeah.
And whatever, I don't know what they're gonna call Buddy's finisher or whatever. That move is spectacular.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a variation of something I haven't seen before. And the fact that Fuego can just sell his ass off.
I love that guy so much, man.
I love it. He's a little annoying. I think he's a little annoying on Sammy's vlog, but that's okay. But he can sell his ass off, and that move Buddy Matthews is using is awesome. I love it. It looks so cool.
Yeah.
So yes, that is a matchup I'm really, really looking forward to. And if we want to skip ahead and talk about what the little best friends powwow there later on, and Wheeler Yuta, the best friends are like, what's going on? And he's like, look, I don't want to be the best friend I could be. I want to be the best wrestler I can be. And he's wearing black pants and he walks away.
I will say that I would love to see Wheeler Yuta work on his mic skills. I thought his part of the promo was not great.
Huh?
It was, it could be better. I didn't love his part of the promo. I think for me, it landed a little flat for me. I'm going to be honest. But I love what he had to say. I needed more. I want the same energy that he had after Regal slapped him in the face. I want that same energy when the guy's like, I don't like you. You know what? Get up in his face. Don't just stand there and say it. Get up in his face.
Yeah.
I mean, so but again,
he's got to get there. He's getting there.
So are we seeing a fracture with the best friends? Because you got Wheeler Yuta.
I think so.
We've got, and I know we'll talk about the women's match here in a second, but Chris, like with the promo where she's
there is a change in Chris Statlander. We see that later in the match, and that was such a good match with Layla Hirsch and Red Velvet.
Yeah.
But the next big segment was MJF.
Yeah.
And if this guy is not the hottest heel in the business.
Oh my gosh. Oh man.
Wow.
I mean,
he works a crowd so good. I mean, he has them silent, for they want to hear what he has to say, but then immediate, just gut wrenching reactions, but boos, and, and hatred, heat beyond heat. But then they can't wait for the next thing he's gonna say.
Oh yeah, we're on the edge of our seat. We hate you. We want to hate you. We're excited to hate you. but we want to hear everything you have to say.
Exactly.
Because you're giving us the red meat that we want.
Mm-hmm.
That was I love it. Whenever he's on the mic, and I will also say whenever he's in the ring, like, and that's the thing about MJF. If he didn't bring it in the ring, it wouldn't matter to me what he was saying.
Correct.
On the mic. But he walks the talk. I mean, he is good in the ring. He's just fantastic. Good. And just the buildup, he makes you want to see him get his ass kicked.
And you just kind of forget, no, this guy's actually like a super impressive athlete.
Oh yeah.
Never been taken down in his life.
No.
Literally on guard. People like try to shoot him all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the hallway or something like that.
Yeah.
They'll just try to like double leg take him out of nowhere. Nope.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I like legit. This guy is, I mean, like I said, this guy's legit an amazing wrestler.
Yeah.
And a legit amazing athlete. So, I mean, don't ever take it. You can't ever take those things away.
Yeah.
Period. It's just the fact that he's such a terrible, god-awful human being.
Yeah. He's the best terrible human being there is. I mean, here's the thing. You know, I watch It's a Wonderful Life every year.
Mm-hmm.
And every year I tell myself,
think there's a straight heel in that movie.
I mean, Mr. Potter to me had been the most evil person I'd ever seen on television, real or fictional, until MJF. MJF makes Mr. Potter look like Jimmy Stewart, man. He's just horrible. MJF is a horrible human. And the thing is, because he's always in MJF mode, if we were to run into MJF, he would be the biggest dick to us in the world. Because that's what we want. Because
he lives the gimmick. I mean, he lives the gimmick, dude. Full time.
Yeah.
I mean, he insults people nonstop. I mean, it's just what he does.
But, you know, in many respects, so it's kind of like, you know, Jordan, the way Jordan approached basketball was, he's like, I didn't take games off because I just assumed that whoever was there, like, this might be the one time they would get to see me. And because of that, I'm there to put on a show. And I feel like MJF in that regard, I'm not saying he's the Jordan of wrestling, but I think his mindset is, I'm MJF. I'm not here to play the role and then I'll be cool with you off. Like, if you encounter me, you're expecting the guy that you see on TV. So I am that guy. I'm going to give it to you.
That's kind of like part of the experience.
And you hope like hell you don't have small children with you, because
he's going to insult them.
Oh
my God, those are kids. They're so ugly.
Some kids are ugly.
Your kids. You're going to grow up and realize your parents probably didn't want to have you. You know, it's just life. You know, that's the kind of person.
You're sounding like Chris Statlander now, man. You're
so clearly MJF is awful, and he's the whole thing. I mean, he is just berating Wardlow, and basically says, "No, I'm just going to pay you to sit at home, piggy," and that's it. That's it. That's the end of your story. You're trespassing. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Sooner or later, something's got to happen here. Either Tony Khan just says, "This is bullshit. Take care, Wardlow. Here's your contract. Go beat him up." Or like I said, smart Mark.
Yeah. Yep.
Got to talk, man. I emailed you. Urgent.
Yep.
You didn't come back to me. I'm busy. Too busy. Don't wait. I'm too busy for you, schmuck. Mike Sterling. When you're not, apparently Danhausen thinks that when he's not in a suit, his name is Mike and he's not a lawyer. It's only Mark Sterling when he's in a suit.
Right.
But the lawyer is going to say, like, hey, that contract. So we need to talk about it.
Yeah.
Because MJ, he's like, Wardlow's gonna be done here or whatever. There's a clause, something.
Yep.
Because we just need to see Wardlow just powerbomb MJF to the center of the earth, I think.
Oh, it'll be a beautiful thing.
Sooner or later. And Spears too, because it's just awful.
Yeah.
So we go to Jay Lethal and Adam Cole. This is a pretty good match, man.
Wow.
Jay Lethal brings it, and so does Adam Cole. And by I mean bringing it, I mean cheating to win.
Of course.
As only he does.
Well, in fairness, it must just be a thing that they talk about when they're home together. He and Dr. Britt Baker, DMD.
How do we, it's like, do they just study the Ric Flair dirty player handbook that gets? It's like the dirty player handbook. Here we go. Low blow after you pushed him into a ref. That's
what would the Nature Boy do?
Sneak in a low blow somewhere, and that's what Adam Cole does here, and avoids that super kick into the lethal injection. Though, awesome,
such a good match, man.
I love his super kick is awesome, right?
Yeah,
I just hate his pump kick. I hate the pump kick thing. He does it way too much, and it's kind of bothers me.
Yeah,
maybe let's introduce a new move into the move set.
New move, because to me, when you do the pump kick and the super kick, you're kind of cheapening both.
Yep. And you can't repeat them.
Right. Yeah. I don't want to see multiple super kicks.
I kind of do like the super kick party as a thing, but other than when it's not like that, I only really want it. One guy gets to use it one time each.
Yes, that's right.
Unless you're like Christopher Matthews.
Yeah. Jay Lethal, man, great in-ring technician. Want to see him more on television. The guy can go. It's clear those two guys have history, chemistry.
Oh, yes, tons.
Yeah. In fact, I didn't realize they're like, someone posted like, you want to know why Jay Lethal is bald? And they had the picture of Adam. This guy's shaving. I'm like, oh, makes sense. But kind of shout out to Ring of Honor. It's kind of like, okay, like,
oh yeah, big time.
Things are, I'm excited for that.
But after this, he says he's like, hey, I want that title. I always win. I'm a winner because clearly I cheat to win every match, and I'm a winner. And that's all thing. I just love it. Like, I'm the greatest. I'm such a winner. I beat everybody. I cheat to beat everybody, but I beat everybody.
Yeah.
But then he steals the title belt.
Yeah.
I've always hated this. I'm not a big fan of the stealing the title belt.
I just don't like non-champions touching
carrying
or grabbing
belts.
The belt. Dan Lambert.
Not proper.
Yeah, but I love the new Hangman. I feel like we should take credit, Jeff.
A little more balls out.
I think we are.
I think TK watches this.
He's secretly
TK. You're watching, aren't you? I know
TK is watching.
You're so sneaky, man. I knew it, TK.
And they're listening to us, and these guys,
or robots that report to Tony Khan are listening to us.
What if Cinnamon Girl actually works for AEW?
Oh, that'd be amazing. If it is Cinnamon Girl, you're awesome.
Yeah.
She'll probably dispel that, hopefully, in the comments if she does. You're not,
but if she did work for AEW, would she be able to tell us that she works for AEW?
Who knows? That's a good question.
To that point, I this is something
message us, tweet us.
Something we missed. So you've got Adam Cole taking the belt, wanting the belt. But after that first match with CM Punk and Dax Harwood,
put it on.
And so Tony is like, is he talking about the AEW World
He's
title?
Not even, but unfortunately, CM Punk, you're not even ranked right now. 12-1, yes. No rank, though.
How is that possible? How is he not ranked?
Because the ranking system is goofy, Jerry, and strange.
But it also, Tony.
I mean, I don't necessarily. Don't get me wrong. I hate the WWE method. I hate all of a sudden when they just out of nowhere. Here's two guys, number one contender match. I'm not a big fan of that. I always think it's just two random guys, and like all of a sudden one of them's gonna get a title shot, and you're like, this guy's clearly gonna lose because this is what this is made up for.
Yeah.
The rankings, I do think, give it a little more strength, but like I said, they don't make any sense.
So
remember when Orange Cassidy was ranked number 1 on like a 21 match win streak and couldn't get a world title match?
Couldn't get a shot.
Like,
but
what was that about?
Jeff, Tony Khan did recently just purchase a promotion
called Ring of Honor,
and they do have a title belt, a world championship belt. The other thing that we might want to, it may not be any one of these belts, but there is a tournament coming up that will be a very important
Heart Cup.
Yes, indeed. Yes.
Oh man, if Brett came in and was part of AEW while the Owen was going on, I think that'd be spectacular. Make my heart warm.
I wonder how many WWE fans actually know that there's a guy named Owen Hart. I mean, how many of these people who are like only watch WWE current fans, do they even know who Owen Hart is?
I don't know, man. If that makes me sad if they don't, because oh my god, I mean, the fact that 2 of maybe the greatest wrestlers of all time were just happen to be siblings, is one in a million kind of things. Don't get me wrong, the Inoue and the family tree and all of that is ridiculous. It's just spurns for professional wrestling talent.
And we know that that loss stings obviously for wrestling fans, but for Kansas City wrestling fans particularly,
especially that unfortunately watched him die.
Yeah.
It just hurts. You know, I drive by that building like weekly.
Yeah.
And it makes me sad every time because I think of that.
Yeah.
And they could paint it and change its name and do whatever they want. It's still going to be Kemper Arena.
Yeah.
It's where Owen Hart died.
It's where Owen Hart died. Yeah.
It's sad. But, like I said, moving on, I think there's good things to be done. And, are honoring Owen pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I'm glad that somebody is. And I know that his widow hates WWE and Vince McMahon. So
now let me ask you this: the Owen Hart Cup. Do you imagine that this is going to be kind of an opening of the Forbidden Door kind of invitational?
Possibly.
Right?
With Supercard of Honor coming up, it's a week away. It's a pay-per-view. Tony Khan is promising like awesome stuff. This is going to be an event. Who knows what the matches are going to be?
Yeah.
But they did do. I think they did say that. I don't know if FTR and Dim Boys are going to wrestle or not, but I just think that. I don't know where anybody stands on the whole Briscoes thing. Yes, dude said some messed up. He said some messed up things, but he also apologized. I don't know if we've gone over all this.
Yeah,
but it's like. I think you just let them have the match, and who knows if Warner Media doesn't want to have anything a part of it. But this is a pay-per-view that doesn't have anything to do with Warner Media, so
they don't ever have to show up on Rampage or Dynamite. Yeah,
I think they're made for TV because they're just ridiculous.
Yeah,
and over the top. They're just over the top. That's what they do.
Yeah,
and they can wrestle. They really, really can.
Yeah.
But anyway, go on to Tony Schiavone interviewing Sammy Guevara.
This is an interesting promo. What did you think of the crowd's reception to them?
I think you got to remember these are down home Texas good red people that probably don't like the idea of some guy that was running around on his fiance or whatever.
Yeah.
And they kind of flaunt it in everyone's faces, I think they kind of probably need to read the room on that. sometimes.
Yeah, I don't think they do that. I don't think they're mindful or care.
I don't think so either.
I mean, and look, when are
they supposed to be heels or are they baby faces?
Well, Matt the Black Wrestling Dude. I don't know if Matt the Black Wrestling Dude. I follow him on Twitter. I think
come on this show, dude. Matt the Black Wrestling fan.
But I tweeted. We were kind of tweeting a little bit back and forth.
Be a guest on our show.
But I pontificated with him. I'm like, what if Sammy and Ty might be the new Brandy and Cody?
Ooh.
I mean, I'm just saying in the future, so here's the thing. Here, my personal opinion, they're two very beautiful people. They're both also incredible athletes. They are really extra as a couple. It's just, it's almost annoying. No, I'm sorry. It is annoying to me.
It's a little bit.
And so
over the top.
You guys are making it individually.
I mean, poor Pam.
Yeah. Oh, but here's
what's poor Pam doing?
I don't. It's not to me. I mean,
poor Pam.
Poor Pam.
I mean, yes, I know these kids. You gotta only live once, and whatever else. But I don't know. Poor Pam.
But yeah, the segment was weird, and then you take that belt off of Dan Lambert for the love of all things.
I don't know if he wants to wear it anymore.
I sure hope
after apparently they do all sorts of.
If that's the thing that gets rid of the belt, then thank God.
Thank God.
I am so tired of watching. Dan Lambert has
wear a title belt.
Yeah.
Call himself co-champion.
Right.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't like that at all. So,
yeah.
I hope they're. But I mean, what do you think? Sammy's coming back with a return match with Scorpio.
I'm down. I don't know. I don't know what to do with Sammy. Not that it's. I'm not. Obviously, I don't work.
I put him into a program with any number of people.
Yeah.
I don't know if it has to be for a title.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't think. Here's the thing. I'm not big right now on return matches. Like I actually have zero interest. I have
zero interest with how expanded AEW's roster is right now.
Yes.
And how many people that there are that don't. That I mean, there's too many people out there to have him wrestle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same thing with. I want a rotating, quick turn. Challengers to the TNT title.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody new needs to be stepping up almost weekly.
Weekly.
I don't want builds for these matches. This is supposed to be the anchor of the mid card and give mid card guys exposure.
100%.
Or bring low card guys up and say that they're mid card level by, oh my God, almost pinning the mid card champion. Right?
Yes. Yep. And in that same vein, I have no interest in seeing Hangman Adam Page and Adam Cole again now.
Either.
No, I don't have any interest. But
I think you have to do something if there's too much time to start. I think CM Punk is the end game at Double or Nothing.
Yeah.
But I think you have too much time
in between.
Yeah. In between, he's got to have a program with somebody. And I don't like the idea that it's going to be Adam Cole again.
No.
Either they need to have a blow off in some of the way, they can have a big street fight or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Something. Yeah.
But go to Layla Hirsch in Red Velvet.
Good match, man.
And Layla Hirsch doesn't even let this thing start.
No.
And just comes out and starts brawling. And then this thing finally gets into the ring.
Yeah.
And these two proceed to go at it pretty well. There's a couple little odd spots, but again, this actually has some good heel skullduggery.
Yeah. Yeah. I love legit Layla Hirsch, man. She's really grown on me.
Yeah. I really like the way Red Velvet worked in this match too.
Oh, she's a great technician. She is smooth in there.
There's some things I really, really enjoy about her. I feel like she is very poised, and I feel like she's just on the verge of another level. Which could put her in the title picture for sure. Yeah, in my opinion.
I love watching her work. I'm excited to see what her trajectory will be, but she is good in ring, man.
Agree. Yeah. So she hits her with the mixer, whatever it is she calls her, that kick.
Yeah.
But Layla rolls out of the ring, grabs a turnbuckle hook, and another turnbuckle hook shoved in the back of her pants.
Yeah. That was brilliant. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's
she's
awesome.
Poised to whack her, and then I love this. So Bryce takes it away.
Yeah.
And then she knocks her out with the backup. And I love Bryce sold this really well. Did. Like, what the hell just happened? He actually sold it pretty good. I mean, as well as a ref getting take advantage of.
And that's one where you're like, as a fan, you're like, oh, I could see how that happened. That would have happened to me too. Normally, it's like you're like, come on, ref.
Yes, no, there's just always have punches of spare turnbuckle hooks just
in our trunks.
And then it's like the God dang it! Why is there a bag of thumbtacks under the ring? It's that whole trope. There's all sorts of goodies down there.
Is one of the things we're going to find out is that JR truly wants to know why.
By God, why do we have a bag of thumbtacks under the ring? This is one of the best comments ever. Speaking of using the thumbtacks, Thunder Rosa comes out.
Yeah.
Vicky Guerrero just gets into her here.
Oh my gosh.
And says that she's not a legit Texan. And this is some almost controversial stuff here, man.
I mean, yeah.
And Thunder's like, no, I became a citizen in Texas.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm kind of like, ooh, watch yourself, Vicky. Come on, Vic, be careful.
But it was all a ruse anyway, because Nyla Rose comes out and blasts Thunder Rosa from behind.
That was awesome.
And actually, she went on. She cut up an awesome promo on Twitter. So go out there and watch it if you haven't watched it. Which proved kind of positive to me that Vicky don't need Vicky talking for her.
No.
I think she talks well enough on her own.
But Vicky is such a polarized. I am so. Her voice is the most annoying voice. But when I hear it, it's weird. When I first hear it, I love it.
Oh,
oh my god!
It's like, oh man, it's like, how long will it go on?
Yeah,
because can't handle very much of it. It's a little bit, to remind me. But it's like, oh, this is so. Ooh.
So we're gonna get Thunder in the Native Beast.
I think
at some point. Yes. Man, that's gonna be awesome, man. I'm looking forward to that.
So then we have the Jericho Appreciation Society debut for a match. And what do you think of this? Their little promo backstage was pretty, Jericho-rific.
I just think that Jericho's ability to continue to reinvent himself, it's extraordinary.
It's he's a chameleon, a true chameleon.
Yeah.
Who bends to the moment and finds the way in the moment to make something new awesome.
Yes.
What is everyone in this side of AEW wrestling? Well, people who are on this side of, there's WWE here, right? That takes up this space. But then everybody else this way is AEW and all the indies.
Yep.
Well, what do they hate? Sports entertainment.
Yeah.
I'm a sports entertainer. Guess what? I am a sports entertainer. I'm the best sports entertainer you've ever seen.
Yeah.
I mean, I beat up pro wrestlers.
Yeah.
And it's like it's actually kind of good.
It's really
and I kind of love this is the remake of these guys is just so hilarious.
Yeah.
So we have Daddy Magic, Matt Menard.
Yep.
Cool Hand Angelo Parker.
Right.
I just love it. And then Daniel Garcia. And I love, guess what? Daniel Garcia finally got himself some fancy trunks.
Yeah, he did.
So the transformation to full sports entertainer has clearly begun with his fancy new ring gear.
Yeah.
And they put on a pretty good heel match here.
Yeah.
And the sham to get 10 and 5 ejected was pretty brilliant.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Do you think Vince gets the joke?
Of what? That giving them the horrible names?
Well, yeah, and I'm a sports entertainer.
Oh God, he has to. This is a straight like, what's up, Vince? Like this is a straight like nut tap.
Yeah.
Straight to like, how's it going, Vinny?
Yeah.
Doing all right? Remember me? Your old pal Jericho?
Yeah.
It's a lot of people have funny stories about him. Like, he tried to like outwork them at the gym and all these things. And like, him and Jericho went and had a ton of drinks one night.
Yeah.
And they were like they're trying to go work out, and just while they were still drunk, essentially. And Jenny like finally admitted, like, oh God, that was the worst mistake I've ever made.
Yeah.
But Vince has a lot of funny stories like that.
Is Jericho taking it a jab at all at Cody?
No, I don't think so.
I
don't think this is a shot at him at all.
I was kind of wondering, I'm like, is this kind of a, I don't know.
I don't think it is. But, I don't know. I think Jericho and Vince have a pretty playful relationship.
I think
and I think that this is kind of like a nut tap at Vince and like kind of like what's going on, buddy?
The other part of me that
look at how relevant I am again.
Yeah, I mean, who knew, right? I mean, Jericho is just brilliant. I agree. I agree with Stone Cold's assessment that his assessment is that Chris Jericho's run is probably the greatest in the history of pro wrestling. I think he could be right.
I mean, from just becoming on the scene, Lionheart, Y2J,
yeah,
and to the new, the new 2.0 or whatever version, to the, he's been able to the Painmaker, to Le Champion, to everything else.
Yeah.
To Dad Rock. I mean, and I love Matt Menard's like, you don't deserve to sing the song. You don't deserve Judas. Because you don't deserve to sing it.
I love he's berating this crowd who was just singing. They were all
singing their ass off.
You don't.
He's like, you don't deserve it. You don't deserve the song. If you had my way, you wouldn't get to hear it. You don't deserve it. He's just so funny. You want to taste? Get a taste. I love those two, man.
Yeah.
Cool Hand, Angelo Parker. That is just so great. But Daniel Garcia, oh man, can this kid work or can he work?
I love him, man. There's just so much good young talent here. It's awesome.
And this is a pretty good little wrestling match. They did kind of get a little goofy in a couple of spots, but it finishes off with Daniel Garcia locking in the nasty version of the, whatever you want to call it, Scorpion Deathlock or Sharpshooter, where he really tweaks back on it. It's just mean looking.
Oh yeah,
but I like it.
Yeah.
So that's how we go off the air. I kind of like wish that maybe Eddie Kingston shows up or something like that. I'm kind of hoping maybe the Jericho guys do their thing again, where they're like, stay here, They don't want to taste. Like he like opens the curtain and like there's Santana punches him right in the face or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Or Eddie just smiling. So, all sorts of good stuff coming for Rampage tomorrow. Hook gets his certificate from QT. I'm sure this will be another massive ambush of some sort.
Yeah.
And maybe Hook gets his ass beat for the first time. It's a first time for everything. He's gonna get beat down at some point.
Kudos for I got to give some credit to QT Marshall for, despite all of the insubordination that Hook has shown to him, that he is still willing. Yeah, that he is still willing to honor.
Give him the certificate.
Hey, your certificate of completion. That says a lot about QT Marshall, who had been on my list, but I'm starting to warm up to QT. Yeah.
I like him as somebody to get his ass kicked every now and then.
Yeah,
he's fantastic for that. I mean, that's what he's born for. He's somebody you root. He's that guy at the bar that everybody's like, man, really hope he gets punched in the face later. And then he gets punched in the face later, like, yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
He's that guy.
Yeah.
But thoughts? WrestleMania Raw will be the go home show, my man.
I'm gonna watch the beginning and the end of Raw.
Do you think Cody makes an appearance?
No.
You think they're saving him for Mania night? Or one of the Mania nights?
Well, you kind of need
save him for night 2?
Maybe he shows up night 1 and he wrestles night 2.
Maybe that could be.
I don't think we're gonna see him. But they've got to do something because Seth Rollins doesn't have a match.
They're not at sellout for either night.
Well, in fairness, it is the Jerry Dome. I mean, that's a big
dude. You called your shot. 2-night WrestleMania.
That's a hard thing to pull off.
Jerryland. You sell it out 2 nights in a row.
Yeah, if you've got to know, in order to commit to two nights, that you could sell that out.
I think they should have done a 2-night package for everything.
I mean, it should have just been. You don't have enough talent to do 2 nights. You barely have enough talent to do one WrestleMania well.
No.
I mean, because basically you're going to give. You're basically
they could put one good 4-hour show on to save their lives at this point.
WrestleMania, Jeff, is going to feel like 2 overproduced house shows. Is what WrestleMania is going to be this year.
I mean, I just don't see. I mean, I guess you're going to get the title unification.
Yeah.
Somebody's walking out the new undisputed champion. And I think there's no way that it's anybody but Roman.
It's got to be Roman.
Brock, you can't. I mean, Roman has proved himself as the worker, and he's full time, and he actually will show up every week.
Yeah.
Brock is a part timer.
Yeah.
This work run of 9 weeks on TV almost in a row is probably like incredible for him.
Oh yeah.
He's ready for a break. I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure he's worn out.
Exhausted.
Yeah. Yeah. It's got to be Roman, but to think that I would imagine that most people who bought tickets are like, well, which night is the Undertaker going to be inducted to the Hall of Fame? That's the night I want to be there.
It's Friday, SmackDown.
Yeah,
it's the Friday before.
Wait, so he's gonna be inducted on SmackDown?
No, it's usually a special ceremony.
Oh, because I thought they were going to do it at WrestleMania, or Vince was going to introduce him at WrestleMania.
Well, it's always the night before. Oh, Vince will introduce him at WrestleMania, of course.
Yeah.
But they parade them at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
The ceremony is always the night before.
Yeah.
So
I just
with the beginning at a 2-night, they have to do it. It's after SmackDown.
I mean, it's just it's stupendous. It's like more like stupid. It's the stupid WrestleMania.
Stupendous, Jerry.
Yeah.
Stupendous, dude. Yeah, I know you really want to go see it, Jerry. It's stupendous.
I mean, I'm gonna watch because I'm a sucker.
2 nights of stupendous wrestling, Jerry. Oh no, sports entertaining.
Yeah, out of respect for WrestleMania, out of respect.
Oh, I'm gonna watch it
for those guys. I'm gonna watch.
It's tradition.
Is Bianca
that
gonna
needs
be
to be that needs to be a headline. I think that needs to be your headliner night one.
Yeah. What's that?
Becky EST. That should be your main event.
Is Bianca going to be able to go? Is she going to
be? Is she hurt?
Yeah, she got her throat that she did the stomp and like the chair, like they got run into the turnbuckle with the chair around her throat and.
Oh, and Ronda's something with her mouth is messed up.
Is that why she doesn't do good promos?
Oh, it's one of the skin that connects to your jaw. It's like something's torn or something.
I mean, she's just gonna have to suck it up, man. And
I don't know.
But Bianca, I think Bianca is legit injured.
Well,
yeah,
that's terrible. That's true.
So I don't know. I mean, I know she's gonna give it a go, but
big love out there to Big E. We learned about how serious that was.
Mm-hmm.
He was this close to death, or full paralysis. So, sending all the love to Big E out there. And hopefully he gets to make a full recovery, and hopefully he might get to return to the ring. Who knows how well he'll heal up. But, oh, man, love out there for him.
Yeah.
And, still a lot of love out there for Scott Hall, man. I just, thinking back more on it, I was a major Razor Ramon fan, and I loved, loved NWO Scott Hall, and I was really bummed out when they did the whole drinking angle. Everything on WCW made me really mad, but and he had his demons and everything like that, but what a loss, what a creative guy. And it makes me think about all these guys out there. I really hope the younger generation is learning. And, if we're finding out that taking all these bumps and pills and drugs and booze, early death.
Yeah.
We're finding that out. If you live the hard life and wrestle, like crazy, your body just can't take it. So really hope the younger generation is learning how to deal with things in a healthier way. That's why I really, the love out there for Jon Moxley for taking the step back and saying like, hey, look, I need to take care of me. I need to take care of myself and what's healthy. And everybody out there, take care of yourself.
Take care of yourself.
Check in with your friends, check in with people, see how they're doing. Make sure you're in check in with yourself. Everybody out there, we love you.
Yeah.
All righty, guys. Anything else from Jerry today?
No, man. Just let's cap off another great week of wrestling tomorrow with Rampage.
It'll be a good one, my friend. All righty, guys. Marked for life. We'll see you next time. Marked for life.
Peace.
We'll see you.